Hello and welcome to the Rhythm and Roots Show with Rohan and Al of the Dublin City Rounders, your weekly dose of ragtime, music hall, bluegrass, country blues, early jazz, western swing, and more. We got live sessions and interviews with guests local and around the world, recorded at Beardfire Studio, Dublin, Ireland. Be sure to like Rhythm and Roots on Facebook, catch up with the podcast on Spreaker.com, and don't forget you can become a Rhythm and Roots Patreon patron today. Now enjoy the show. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. You're all very welcome to Rhythm and Roots here on Near FM on 90.3 Near FM.
90.3
Near FM. My name's Rohan. That was Al that you heard just there. How's it going, Al?
It's pretty good. How's it going, Rohan?
Oh, thank you for saying my name.
It always surprises me that rhymes. I've said that like a few times now.
How's it going, Rohan? Well, it's going good. We've got a great show for you good people tonight, or today, or whatever you want to call it, whatever you want to call 4:30 in the afternoon/evening. It's all very confusing. We've got a great guest later on in the program, all the way from Canada. Myc Sharratt is joining us for a great chat. We go in-depth about all things music and his music in particular, and we get a lovely live rendition of one of his tracks directly after that. We've got loads of great old-timey tunes for you as well, a little bit of Annette Hanshaw, some Billy Williams, some Billy Murray, some Ada Jones, that kind of thing, some great old tunes. And for the very first time ever on Rhythm and Roots, we have an ocarina solo from
We do. It's the best kind of solo.
Yeah, pretty much. Ocarinas are a wonderful, wonderful instrument.
They are.
Probably the best instrument.
I would say the best, yeah.
But let's get things started with something that's certainly not the best instrument, the banjo. This is Charlie Poole with Ragtime Annie.
to bet a juicy huckleberry. What you're after is a girl. We're both in luck, for introductions are not necessary. Would you like to take a walk? Do you think it's gonna rain? How about a sarsaparilla? Gee, the moon is yellow. Something good'll come from that. Have you heard the latest song? It's a very pretty strain. Don't you feel a little thrilly? Gee, it's getting chilly. Something good'll come from that. When you're strolling through the Wesses, you need a who's it to lean upon. But when you have no who's it to hug and what's this, gosh darn. Would you like to take a walk? Do you think it's gonna rain? Ain't you tired of the talkies? I prefer the walkies. Something good'll come from that. Do-do-do-do-do-do. Wa-da-da-da-da-da-da. Something's gonna happen soon. Ba-dum-bum-bum. 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 Isn't this a pretty tune? Have you heard the song it sings? You can hear it everywhere. When you see the little roses turning up their noses, something good'll come from that. When you see a butterfly nodding to a buttercup, when you hear a little cricket chirping in the thicket, something good'll come from that.
The lovely Annette Hanshaw there with a little song called Would You Like to Take a Walk?
Yes.
Yeah, I think yes is the answer to that question. Annette Hanshaw, I can't talk.
Annette
Hanshaw. Annette Hanshaw. That was my, what's her name? The girl out of Pirates of the Caribbean?
Oh, yeah. What's her name?
I don't know.
The one that talks like that. Anyway.
Annette Hanshaw. Right, anyway, not as good as if you can't remember the name of the person you're referencing, but, you know, you get the idea. Next up, we've got Eugene Rose. So, thankfully, you haven't had to wait too long to hear this wonderful, wonderful ocarina solo from
we would get so many complaints if we made people wait longer to hear an ocarina solo.
We'd get almost as many complaints as we've just gotten when I said the banjo wasn't a very good instrument.
Yeah. On a rhythm and roots show.
Yeah, well, you know, it's not. Right, doubling down there. Let's have a little listen to Eugene Rose. This is him doing an ocarina solo from 1906. This is the Genevieve Waltz medley.
Mm-hmm. And I think there is a bit of Wait Till the Sun Shines Nelly on ocarina in this, because it's a medley of a whole bunch of stuff.
Oh, so keep an ear out.
See if you can find that.
Ocarina Solo, Genevieve Waltz Medley, played by Eugene Rose, Edison Record.
When I grow too old to dream, I'll have you to remember. And when I grow too old to dream, your love will live in my heart. So kiss me, my sweet, and so let us part. And when I grow too old to dream, that kiss will live in my heart. When I grow too old to dream, I'll have you to remember. And when I grow too old to dream, your love will live in my heart. So kiss me, my sweet, and so let us part. And when I grow too old to dream, that kiss will live in my heart.
Lovely romantic song there from Riley Puckett of the Skillet Lickers, When I Grow Too Old to Dream.
How old is that? Is that like 93?
I haven't had a dream in a while. Maybe I'm too old to dream.
Maybe.
I'm 32.
That's pretty young. But I
Yeah.
suppose back in those days, that'd actually probably be a lot older.
That's exactly the point. 32, you stop dreaming. Ladies
You
and
heard it
gentlemen.
here first.
Yes, so speaking of hearing things, let's hear another song. It's probably not the first time we've heard this song because we love playing Dick Justice on the show. This is Dick Justice with Rhys Jarvis with the Poker River Blues. Justice and Rhys Jarvis there with the Polka River Blues. Polka River Blues, not Polka River Blues.
The Polka River Blues.
Polka River Blues. The although our next artist might say River.
Oh yeah, he sure might.
Because he is Billy Williams and he's from Australia. Yeah, hugely associated with the UK music hall scene, and a hater of all things ragtime.
Indeed.
We've got a great song of his that we're not about to play, but we can play it again another time, about how bad ragtime is. What's it called? Goodbye Ragtime?
He has a couple, I think. He has Goodbye Rag... Actually...
No, there is at least a couple.
that was him. And then there was also... Who Killed Ragtime?
Who Killed Ragtime?
That was a good one.
Yeah. Massive rivalry there between the British and Australian music hall styles and ragtime of the same period. Billy Williams, he spent a lot of his life in England, didn't he?
He did, yeah. I mean, I don't think there was much... of anything happening in Australia that he could kind of be a part of back then. So.
Yeah, the music scene wasn't, AC/DC.
Yeah, they hadn't really come along yet.
Hadn't quite kicked things off in the rock and roll world. No. But he did go to the UK and he played and sang a lot of songs. He's an oddball. He's a weird guy, but we love him. His name's Billy Williams, and this is a song about Australia called St Kilda.
On the shores of Hobson's Bay, I was strolling along one day. When I reached St Kilda, there I met Matilda. Neath a dainty parasol, she was walking by the sea. Oh, I thought I was wise, but her goo-goo eyes, they fair goo-googled me. For I met her at St Kilda, my beautiful Matilda. My love got so very, very hot. Oh, it absolutely grilled her. The boys shouted in St Kilda, oh, Bill, have mercy on Matilda. But when her husband came along with 6 big kids, oh, I felt I could have killed her. Serves her right, too. And it jolly well serves her right. When I found that I'd been had, my Victorian plum was bad. I thought that she was well born, as she came from Melbourne. Here's the wedding ring I bought for her finger just for spite. Oh, I'll never get wed, I will pawn it instead, and I won't go home tonight. For I met her at St Kilda, my beautiful Matilda. My love got so very, very hot. Oh, it absolutely grilled her. The boys shouted in St Kilda, Mr. Williams, have mercy on Matilda. But when the husband came along with 6 big kids, oh, I felt I could have killed her. I met her. I met her surf bathing. Surf bathing is the greatest thing on earth. I'm going down tomorrow. I'm taking a nice young girl with me, too. Not Matilda, you know. But when the husband came along with 6 big kids, oh, I felt I could have killed her.
He felt he could have killed her. A lot of Billy Williams songs about violence towards women.
Yeah, there was.
But it was a long time ago.
I mean he was an Aussie, and, you know...
Well, yeah. The less said about that, the better.
Weirdos who come from Australia.
Well, luckily we don't.
Yeah, mate. I mean,
yes, friend. We got one more song before the end of this part of the program. We will be back after the break with a wonderful interview with Myc Sharratt, joining us all the way from Canada. He's touring Ireland at the moment, playing in the Roisin Dubh tonight in Galway, and we will shout out the rest of his tour dates during the interview. So you'll have to listen. But yeah, great artist and a really good chat, really good live session as well. So do stick around in the second part of the program to enjoy that. But for now, we're going to listen to one more tune before we get going. This is Ada Jones and Billy Murray with Come, Josephine, in My Flying Machine.
Dear. Where, kid? To the sky, dear. Oh, you flying machine. Jump in, Miss Josephine. Hip-ahoy! Oh, joy, what a feeling. Feels good through the ceiling, oh, high. Hoopla, we fly to the sky so high. Come, Josephine, in my flying machine, going up. She goes up, she goes. Balance yourself like a bird on a beam in the air. She goes, there she goes. Up, up, a little bit higher. Oh my, the moon is on fire. Come, Josephine, in my flying machine, going up. All on, goodbye. Going up, she goes. She goes. In the air she goes. There she goes. Up, up. Oh, my. Going up. Hold on. Goodbye. Come, Josephine, in my flying machine, going up. She goes up. She goes. Balance yourself like a bird on a beam in the air. She goes, there she goes, up, up, a little bit higher. Oh my, the moon is on fire. Come, Josephine, in my flying machine, going up. All on, goodbye. Dear. Woo! Say, don't hit the moon. Oh, no. Not yet, but soon. You for me. Oh, gee, you're a fly kid. Not me. I'm a sky kid, gee. I'm up in the air about you for fair. Come, Josephine, in my flying machine, going up. She goes up. She goes. Balance yourself like a bird on a beam in the air. She goes, there she goes, up, up, a little bit higher. Oh my, the moon is on fire. Come, Josephine, in my flying machine, going up. All on, goodbye. Going up, she goes, up, she goes.
Good evening once again, ladies and gentlemen. You're all very welcome back to Rhythm and Roots on Near FM 90.3 today on this Friday. It is the 13th of September, and we have in studio direct from Canada today, Myc Sharratt. Have I said your name right?
Absolutely.
Excellent. All right.
How's it going?
We are off to a fine start, if I've said the guest's name correctly.
Yeah.
I've told this story on the radio before, but I'll tell you again. I mean, I'll tell the listeners again and tell you for the first time, presumably. We once had a lovely artist, a great artist, Alice Linsky, on the radio show, and I called her Alan for about the first 4 minutes of the interview.
Alan?
Alan. I also called a fella whose real name is Martin Michael for about the first couple of minutes of the interview as well. And later in the interview as well. So
my sister calls me Michelle.
Oh,
And
why?
there was a lot of Mycs in the neighborhood.
Okay.
My dad was a Michael as well, but he went by Muskie. And then we had a good friend of ours down the street. He was Myc. And then, so I don't know when it happened, but probably around adolescence when I was really, really confident and could really handle that boost. My sister and my mother, and my good friend Kimmy, who's extremely close to me, they all started calling me Michel.
Michel.
So it's Michel.
That's even more.
So it's a bit, yeah.
But isn't that in France? Isn't that a male name, Michel?
Yeah.
Michel.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
I'm fine with it. The discretion I have is, if you're going to be calling me that, you better be family.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, God,
so
wait a
we'll
minute.
cross that bridge. No, you guys are on the right track. We can get there, but
I'm going to start
I'm not
tapping
encouraging it.
like
Yeah.
SOS on the microphone here.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, it's a pre-record, so I'll be long dead before anyone gets to me.
Oh, I'm a very violent person, aren't I?
Well, speaking of violence, you played hockey.
Yeah.
It's a very Canadian thing, isn't it?
Yeah.
Do you still follow the hockey or what?
Absolutely.
Yeah?
Huge Canucks fan. And that probably means nothing to anybody here, but
I've heard those words.
Yeah. It just means that I'm loyal.
Good.
They're terrible.
Okay, I see.
50 years, no championship, so that's
a
the
long
level
time.
of yeah.
Okay, we'll
I'm
leave
loyal.
that there.
You're starting to see the pain come over my eyes.
This is where the darkness in your songs comes from.
Yeah. I will say I played a show, and I guess it was more Aussie rules.
Mm-hmm.
I was playing a show, and there was a table of guys, and there was 20 of them, and they were watching the Aussie rules on the television, and they were just losing their minds. And so I just looked over at the bartender, and I said, "Turn up the television. I'm not playing. There's no way I'm going to do this." And so that, everyone kind of rallied around this one table, and we all invested ourselves in it. And then at the end of it, when they all won, they were like hugging each other and crying and stuff. And I was like, "What the hell was that?" And they're like, "It's been forever. Our team has never won the champ." So I could imagine that happening to me if I ever moved to Ireland. And first of all, if the Canucks ever made it that far, I'm sure I'd head back to Canada.
Yeah, you would have to have experience it there.
I would never put myself in that position where I'd be in the bar watching my team back home, and I'm in Ireland being
there's some musician in the background.
Yeah, this would be amazing. If you guys were back in Vancouver with me, we would all be losing. And they're like
what?
We don't care. Yeah.
I follow Liverpool in the football in the Premier League, and it's been a long time since they won a Premier League title. So, can somewhat relate.
Yeah, absolutely. It's. I think it's a level of loyalty.
Yeah,
You're not going
you got to
for
be there.
Yeah, you're not going
and
for
that's
the New England Patriots or
no.
What's the strong side? Manchester
United. Well, not anymore. But it was like that. Watching people, they used to the Manchester United manager used to call them like the plastic fans or the prawn sandwich brigade, because they come on board, they're eating their prawns, they don't know what's going on, but they know they're winning or something. Yeah. So you got to, and it's the same with music. Hey. You got to stick with it through thick and thin. That's right. It's not easy.
Takes a lot to support a loser. Ask my family.
I was going to say.
I take my shots. Yeah.
So you've got a bunch of shows coming up. Let's just rattle off a few here. Obviously, by the time, we're not going to do any kind of Back to the Future kind of pretending like this isn't the time it is. It's a pre-record. But by the time it's airing, you will have played a show, hopefully.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I got to get there first.
In Galway, right?
Yeah.
At the Roisin Dubh, which is a great venue. The 13th.
It only took me 5 years to learn how to say that.
Oh, well, there you go.
Yeah.
Well, it's,
And I'm hoping for a guy I just learned his name. So I've known him for 6 years, and I always called him Rory. It's Rory.
Yeah. And the rest?
De Lester. Yeah.
Rory De Lester.
Yeah.
So it's Rory's tour, and you guys are joined up on it, and you're going around the country. You're on the 13th, which is tonight.
I'm his guitar tech.
Oh, are you really?
Yeah. No.
Okay. I thought you were like double jobbing, making a few extra bucks.
Well, actually, now that I've said that, I'd love to, actually.
Yeah, you hear that, Rory?
Yeah, if you break a string, I'm bringing one right out to you.
That's it. Just another guitar. Just
Yeah.
straight into your hands. Just throw
Absolutely.
it at him.
Yeah. No, he can keep singing the song, and we'll do like the cool BB King switch off.
Yeah, I've seen that.
Yeah. Although BB's even cooler. He just changed the string himself.
Yeah. He just sustains one note while he's changing the other. You know?
Just keeps opening the door handle.
Yeah. I once did that with I jumped off Alex's double bass and my strap broke. And a guy in the audience, I kept playing, a guy in the audience grabbed the strap out of his guitar case and brought it up and put it on me. And it was good.
That's beautiful.
You know, not quite, BB King in front of 10,000 people. I think we were in front of 10 people. It was a good night. But
they noticed, though, and they told the story just as well as we
the
told
ones
the
that can
BB King
remember,
story right now.
There's a lot of drink consumed that night. But Collegiate Church of St. Mary, and now this, I'm going to butcher this, but I don't care. I think it's Yogle.
I'm going with y'all.
Y'all.
Yeah,
y'all are coming down, y'all.
Yeah. So if you hear this and I'm wrong, then throw things at me.
Yeah. You might need the chicken wire, you know.
Yeah, you'll have to deal with the repercussions.
You'll be fine. Yeah. You got God on your side down at Yogle.
I definitely do not have God on my side.
Not after we just played the Devil's Jacket a second ago.
That's right.
And then on the 15th, wonderful venue, Whelan's. That's on the 15th. So what would that make it? Is that the Sunday? Is that a Sunday? Yeah. Sunday the 15th.
There's church for you. Whelan's on Sunday. Ooh.
That's Ireland's actual church.
Yeah.
Kinsale on the 20th. You're playing in Kinsale. And then on the 22nd, you are in Waterford at the Central Arts Centre.
Mm-hmm. The one in Kinsale, I think, is Prim's Bibliotherapy.
What did you just say? Bibliotherapy.
Yeah.
So book. You rub books on you or something?
I think so.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
I'll try it.
Yeah. I think me and Rory are just going to try and say each other's names.
Right, that's the whole show.
Yeah, it's him calling me Mick, and it's me calling him Rory. So Mick and Rory
For 2
just...
hours.
Yeah.
So the record, well, you've got a load of records out. You've been playing music, obviously, a long time. But the latest one,
very old.
You're an extremely old man.
Yeah.
Dusty, wasting away in front of us here.
True.
He's not, ladies and gentlemen. But your latest record, Hide in the Light, was June
of last year
of 2018. Is that right?
Yeah, that's right.
It's a great record, and it's really, like, I think the first thing I said to you as well, besides the songwriting, it's really well produced. It sounds great. The balance is there. It's really easy to listen to the songs and to bring them in, and of course you were working I've unfortunately forgotten the name of the producer. What's
Ryan Stewart. Yeah,
Ryan Stewart.
He's he's a hell of a talent. I've been working with him. This is my third outing with him, fourth. I don't know. But he's amazing what he does, and I'm very thrilled that I was able to work with him again. I got a grant from the Canadian government to go and work with him. Otherwise, I couldn't afford him anymore. And it was a fun record to make, and we kind of went for a bit more of the pop production on it, which he's really, really good at. But more than anything, I think is just concise songwriting. Yeah. There's no fat on it. It's agile. It gets in the ring and it's ready to go.
Ready to go, man.
Not that it's a hard record. That's a terrible
like
analogy, but yeah. It's a marathon runner, is what it is.
It's lean, yeah.
But it's not long.
But it's not long, and oh god,
this is not going well.
No, I think it's hard to describe your own music and your own work, but it is. Yeah. It's got enough of the. I mean, if I had to call it something, and this is hard because calling anything something is pretty tricky, but it's to me it's folk pop.
Yeah.
And because we work with a few people that would kind of class themselves as that, and it clearly comes from the place of a songwriter, let's say, because I think like with pop, super commercial pop, very often it's it's more music by what do you call it when there's loads of people involved? Committee, like music by committee almost, and you understand that's how it works. You look at the credits of some of these records and there's 10 writers, like everyone wrote a word each or something.
Right, and even when there's one writer, it's just not to ever throw Ed Sheeran under the bus because I think he's brilliant, but that one he did with Bieber, I mean the biggest hook in it, and most of the pop songs, and I would love to have them. Is it ooh, something like that? You know, sorry, I just
it's a 3-note, repeated phrase,
which is fantastic,
which is fine. Again, you know, and this is, and look, this you're absolutely right.
I'm on a bluegrass show talking about pop music.
No, but this is it. It's like we work in pop, and we work in bluegrass, and we work in blues and rockabilly and whatever.
Yeah.
I think the best. I can't remember. Was it John Lennon or someone who said, "Look, there's only 2 types of music. You know, good music and I won't use the word, but bad music. You know, as in, and again, I mean, even within there, obviously, there's a lot of room for interpretation. But essentially, in every genre, there's the standout stuff that captures people.
Right.
It's not a genre war, you know.
Yeah.
But your stuff, you can see how, like, with a different feel, it could go totally kind of rootsy Americana or whatever.
Right.
But it's cool that the songs do have that structure that is also, you know, anyone in the world driving a cab or working in a shop or whatever, they don't have to be into their roots in Americana. The song will strike them anyway because it's got those elements of a pop tune.
Thanks for saying that. I think that they're pretty universal, but I think in that, I think they have a huge ceiling, and kind of a deep floor. You know, like,
and you've got a long ladder
in its commercials. In its commercial sales. I mean, like, it's hard to get folk festivals because it doesn't sound folky. It's hard to get in. I was saying this earlier to you off air there, that it's not enough of a lot of things. But I think because it has a little elements, my favorite musicians are the ones who kind of genre bend, so they can
100%.
They can dance with whatever, and it still sounds like them. And I think I'm starting to get to that point. Obviously, I don't have the brand recognition or whatever, but I feel more and more confident with my craft every year. So it's cool to hear you say that.
But it's nice. it's like you said, you know, like, I mean, even what's his name, Ed Sheeran, you know, as a modern example. I mean, obviously you've got your Bowies and your Dylans and stuff who all did what you're talking about there. You know, Bowie had pure funk period, you know, then dance 80s kind of thing, and then the early 60s stuff was really like acoustic folky singer-songwritery stuff. So it's more, I mean the ideal anyway is probably, you know, to just make your music and you get known as yourself, not necessarily because someone is focused on a genre.
Well, I think my favorite musicians are guys that can play.
Yeah,
you know.
Yeah,
it sounds so funny to say that, but there's a very, very finite percentage of players that can like music. People on the radio that can actually play. You got John Mayer. John Mayer is amazing. Yep. He and Dave Matthews are my favorite contemporary guys. The Dave Matthews Band, and like, you just don't have that, and usually they don't get radio play if they can play.
No,
you know?
No, it's pretty rare. It's
country.
It's almost,
there's
unfortunately,
some real players in country music and
also,
rockabilly and stuff. But what kind of radio do they get? You know?
Also, I mean,
Spotify's huge, but
also, like, in the pop country thing, it's the nameless session players usually that are the guys, you know, shredding the licks, and whoever the mouth is what gets the attention.
Yeah.
And look, the thing is, we were talking about it. Who are we talking about it with recently? With regards to, you know, like, even vocalists and recording, like, where in the modern age are the great singers? Because back in the day, you think about, even up until the late 60s, it was all about takes. And it was, very often it was recorded live. So, you know, your Elvis Presleys, Bing Crosbys, and all these kind of, even your Tammy Wynette's and stuff like that from the country side of things. Their whole business was based around, like, singing a song incredibly for 3 minutes.
Right.
Again and again and again until they get the one that has the chemistry that goes out as the single. Whereas now, you know, the fact is,
there's Adele.
Adele's a great singer.
You know,
fair enough.
There's but
you know what I mean. But the standard,
Carrie
like,
Underwood can sing the phone book, but then you're like, okay, she's going to have another song out next week. So she might as well be singing me the phone book, because I hate criticizing anybody.
Yeah.
Because she's amazing.
Yeah.
She could sing the phone book.
Yeah.
And I would probably listen, and I'd be like, oh, damn, Baker. I'm like, oh, yeah, she's going to.
Nice.
Yeah. And then, so what?
Yeah.
Tell me something about yourself.
Yeah, exactly.
Let's get there, right?
The complete artist, you know?
Yeah.
Well, look, I think we could probably talk about this all day,
Yeah, we
quite
could.
frankly.
We could.
But listen, tell me, before you go, a couple of things. What's the best place for people to find you and follow your music?
MycsSharratt.com, I guess. But my name is spelled Myc, M-Y-C. And that is Myc, but I just... Jimi Hendrix spelled it J-I-M-I. So I was like, oh, that's cool. I'm going to steal that, because there's 1,000 mics out there. So I'll be MYC. So if you put MYC, pretty much any browser, Myc, MYC with an S for Sharratt, then you'll pretty much be able to find me anywhere. Everything's on Spotify, so don't worry about spending your hard-earned money. You can listen to me for free.
Go to a show. Go to a show.
That's right.
And do you sell CDs at shows and things like that still?
No, I didn't bring any with me because
just give him $10 to buy him a drink or something, you know.
Yeah, that kind of thing. No, I've been trying to do the email list and stuff, but to be honest, I did a little run of CDs, and they're just, people go where they don't listen to it.
No, I know. Look, so, you can't buy a computer nearly with a CD player in it anymore, you know, or stereo or anything. So
you know, I understand it. Plus, at the same time, you go and someone's like, yeah, it's $10 for my CD. Are you on Spotify? Yes, I am. Okay, well, why don't I spend $10 and listen to the entire world, including... So, like, it's hypocritical of me to say stuff like that. But I have nothing against artists that do that. We all have to make our living, and I just hope that people that like the music come out to shows, because that's really all I've ever wanted to do. That's all real musicians, in my opinion, want to do, is play in front of people.
Yeah.
You want to have the audience participation, or maybe not participation, but the
communication that occurs when music is shared.
Exactly. So I'm a huge fan of live music, so it's not necessarily about album sales or anything like that anymore, and I'm fine with that. But I still would like to feed my children, and
that's always
have
good, isn't it?
A roof over my family's head, and you know, all the things that I think someone who works hard at a craft should have. Yeah. So if you believe in live music, I'm not trying to beg, but you know, come out and support.
Absolutely.
Shows.
Fuck. Oh, I nearly swear it. I could have just edited it, but I stopped myself. Farts, yeah.
I did. Excuse me. I can't believe you did that to me.
And the windows
you called
closed.
Me out on the air. Anyways, it was lovely being here.
Look, you really left your mark. Yeah. Well, listen, thanks so much, Myc, for taking the time to pop in.
Thanks for having me. It's
absolute pleasure.
To meet you both. And you didn't really hear Al.
No, Al's too cool. Anyway.
Hey, Al,
there
we go.
It's me, Al. He'll be on the rest of the show.
If you be my bodyguard.
We and for the very first time, Myc actually asked us to
pronounce her name right.
Pronounce, yeah.
It's Al.
It's Al.
I got that one.
What a tricky one, you know, 2 letters.
Yeah.
What could you even call you? Ale.
Oh, well, on that note, I have to go. Ale. All right.
And so we ended up doing one of our tracks as well with you on lead guitar, which was really special. So thanks for asking us to do that.
Thank you.
And but what we're about to hear right now is Ghost, so live rendition of a track off the latest record. Do you want to just give a quick little introduction to the song before we hear it?
Sure. Yeah, I grew up. It's going to sound funny in Ireland, but back home it's a heritage home. It was built in 1887, which I'm sure isn't that old here. But for back there, it's a neat experience to grow up in a house that old. It's in one of the first houses in my hometown, and it's actually in the museum on the first block.
You lived in a museum?
No. The picture of the house on the first block is in the museum. So this song is about growing up in that house with my parents, who have both passed away, and kind of the experience that my sister and I had there was just breathtakingly beautiful, and they're really, really lovely people, and it's just about carrying that feeling of home with me wherever I go, and kind of recognizing that they are part of my life and part of my kids' lives.
Right,
and,
yeah.
Just trying to touch on that in two and a half, 3 minutes.
I mean, so as we were listening to it the last couple of days and jamming out on it, that all that sentimentality and that feeling comes through. So hopefully everyone listening to it will enjoy it. Do get online and do get down to one of the shows over the next few days. All those dates are up on Facebook and stuff like that. So if you look Myc Sharratt up, MycSharratt,
nice,
you will find it all. I read it.
Oh. Wow.
Yeah, I gave it up. I gave myself up. All right. Well, listen, we will catch you again soon, and please enjoy the rest of the show, and do enjoy Ghosts by Myc Sharratt. Thanks so much for coming in, man.
Thanks for having me.
When we were young, we would run through the garden, planting our first memories, round the old house on the hill by the sea. August would come and we'd jump in the water, leaving our cares to run free at the old house on the hill by the sea, where the ghost dream to find me. I won't be far behind me. Cause they hide in the light, and they ride right beside me. Those who have ghosts are never alone. I'm never alone. Well, I stand on stage with my heart left unguarded, singing our lost melodies from the old house on the hill by the sea, where the ghosts dream to find me. I won't be far behind me. No matter where I call home, well, they hide in the light, and they ride right beside me. Those who have ghosts are never alone. Well, I'm never alone. Now, and I'm building a brand new house. Oh, pouring my foundation now, and I'm building a house where the ghosts dream to find me. Won't be far behind me. No matter where I call home, as they hide in the light, and they ride right beside me. Those who have ghosts are never alone. I'm never alone. Ooh, ooh.
Myc Sharratt there with his wonderful song Ghosts, recorded live in studio with us this week. So do get down to one of his shows and do get online and follow his path through music. We're going to wind it up. This is the last song we're going to be playing on this episode of Rhythm and Roots. Do tune in next week, 4:30 p.m. on Near FM 90.3 for more great old-timey music and very special guests, Donna Dunn and Philip Doyle next week for some high-energy rockabilly.
High energy.
Yeah,
very
exactly.
high.
Very high. High as a high thing.
Yeah.
So, yes, do enjoy the last song, and thank you so much for joining us once again on another episode of Rhythm and Roots with Rohan and Al. And this is Prince Albert Hunt with Wake Up Jacob. Goodbye.
Good night.